Hello and welcome back to the Polymer Clay channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make an angel. This is a sort of style that I've done before. So this is a similar sort of thing that I'm going to make today. They have like some little curly bits of hair at the top and something to hang them from. So they have a little hook there at the top and then some pretty ribbon. So this is a similar sort of thing I'm going to do today. But it's going to be a flat design this time, so it's going to be 3D, but it has a flat back, so you can hang up on a wall or something like that, ready for Christmas. So here we go. Okay, so these are the tools I'm going to be using today. I've got them all laid out so they're nice and clear. Firstly, I've got Fimo Soft here, this is white. Fimo Soft in Flesh Light, and this is number 43. I've got two cutters here. Not sure which size I'm going to use. That really does depend on how big the angel ends up being. A couple of hearts and a star cutter. These are metal and they're very good for polymer clay. The plastic ones don't tend to work quite so well. So then I've got some glitters here. This one is like a holographic and these ones are little stars. There's several different sizes as well, so they've got little parts in them as well as the bigger parts. I really like those. I've also got some matching glitter in the same sort of colours, but these are smaller. I've got some nice bright pink glitter that I'm going to be using. So this is really a mixture of glitter and mica powder. It's very, very fine, it's really good. And then I've got two mica powders here. This one's by the Colour Shack and it is Pearl White. And this is an unbranded one and this is Dark Gold. And lastly, I've got some ultra fine glitter from Dovecraft. I've had this for quite a while, so I might be using that on part of the dress as well to give that a nice look. Moving on to the tools and also the little makeup set that I've got here. This is just a cheap makeup set that I use for my clay, and I'm going to be using that on the face of the angel. Not sure which colour to go for yet, but I've got I use this separately, so I've got that. Just for I don't wear that myself. So that's for this. Okay, so the tools I'll be using are the craft knife, which is this one here, and then I've got a pointer tool. This is like a needle tool, so it's very, very sharp. It's really good for making marks and things. My two trusted dotting tools, one very small and one medium. And then I've got a little one here, and I might be using that for making marks in the clay as well. This one has got a little scoop on it, it's really good for glitters. I always try and find one of those. This is my trusted one, I've used this many times, very good to have. I've also got my plastic Fimo tool here as well. And a trusted tissue blade as well, absolutely great for anything like this. Particularly if you're doing something flat, you can then scoop it off really easily, so I always use this one. And lastly, I've got two brushes. This one I use for the mica powder, and this one will be for the makeup. I keep them separately because I don't want the makeup to look too glossy. I like it to look fairly matte, so I have two separate ones. Okay, so I've got the white clay out now. I have rolled some, but I'm just going to show you my method for conditioning. Press and turn and keep going until you've got what you feel is quite soft, then roll. Now you might find that the outside of the clay will condition but the inside won't, so I have a little trick. Cut it in half, sometimes quarter, and literally turn it inside out. So put the conditioned bits of clay together and then re-roll. Okay, so I've got my circle now, my ball. Now I'm going to flatten this slightly, but I'm going to use a rocking motion, so pop it into the palm of your hand and roll. Flip it over, roll again, and this way you get a nice rounded edge at the same time as conditioning the clay just that little bit more. Okay, I'm going to use my roller now, just make sure it's nice and clean because white clay is absolutely horrific for picking up absolutely everything. And I'm going to roll it, but first I'm just going to show you a quick way of getting rid of any little bits of dirt or anything. Flexible tissue blade and just skim off the top very gently, and this way you'll have an absolutely wonderfully white piece of clay after. Stay tuned for some other tips about cleaning white clay. Once you've got something that you've made and you find that you've put an accidental fingerprint in it or something, or there's a mark or a piece of fluff or something like that, I'll show you later on in my video how I get rid of those, so stay tuned for that. Again, with a tissue blade, I always use this. One of the best things you can buy when you're making things from polymer clay, particularly if you do things that are flat. Press and keep it settled on the actual tile. Press, lift, and it will come up nice and easy. So I'm just going to create the dress shape now. Okay, so this is going to be the dress. I have made that point a little bit longer. I just wanted to give it just a little bit of a different design. I don't tend to make things exactly triangular and things like that. I like to give it a little bit of detail. So this is going to be for the dress, and now I'm just going to do the neck part and then the head. Okay, so I've got quite a small ball there for palm size, just to show you the size of it, and I'm just going to make a pear shape and then attach it to the top of the dress like this. Okay, so now you've got this shape, again with a tissue blade. Press slightly down at an angle and slide off the majority of that clay. So now you have a nice angled mark, and the reason why I've done that is so that the head can place on nice and flat as well. Okay, so I've got the head here. I'm quite careful with Fimo Soft based on the fact that it's, as it says, it's soft. It's really easy to condition, but once it gets too soft it is difficult to make things from. So I'm just going to not roll that too much anymore because it is quite soft, and I'm just going to cut a backing so that one end is flat. Now, as you can see, it's turned into a funny shape. Now this is basically because it is soft Fimo. So with this, I'm just going to condition and manipulate the shape a bit more so that it's got the head shape that I'm looking for. Doing it gently just to make sure I don't leave too many fingerprints. Fingerprints do happen. I think sometimes that's part of the art, really. The fluff I don't like, so I will show you how to get rid of that in just a little while. Okay, so I've got some boiling hot water from a kettle and just popped it in a little ramekin, and this is my trick to get rid of little pieces of fluff. Quite often you'll find the fluff when you've already made something, so it's really difficult to scrape off like I showed you earlier. So this is how I do it when something is made. Hot water, squeeze it off a little bit, and then just rub very gently over the top of what you've made, and it literally lifts all the fluff amazingly, and through the middle there, and that is done. That's literally it. You probably didn't see anything on there from the angle that you're watching from, but trust me, it's brilliant. I'm just going to do this one here because there's a little bit here that I need to lift, and as you roll off they lift, and then it's absolutely fine. This is a good way of also getting rid of fingerprints. The water does have to be boiling, so be careful. I find that cold water doesn't work quite as well, so I just roll very gently. Fimo can get wet. It's not good to have it wet too long, and also if you do it for too long it will actually make the clay look a little rough. But just lift it gently and then all of the fluff is gone. I don't overuse them, so I use the cotton buds once on one and then I switch to the other end. I generally do it so that there isn't any pigment on here, but if there is, stop using it and use another one. Just spotted another little bit of fluff here, so just going to get rid of that. It's all done. So I'm just going to lift the angel now onto a tile that I can put in the oven, and again, tissue blade, press down and lift, and it comes up. So I'm now going to work on this tile, and it means that I can move it around and it's no problem at all. And this tile will actually go straight in the oven, and it's a normal bathroom tile or kitchen tile. I've got quite a big one here. I've got several of different sizes. This is also a bathroom tile on the bottom that I'm working on, and they work fabulously for this. So I always transfer, once I've made a star, onto something a bit smaller, so I know that I can leave it there and it's baked in the oven on it, and then it comes off in one piece. Okay, so I'm just going to create some arms. So this is going to be the part of the dress as well. So ball this sort of size, cut in half, and these are going to be for the sleeves. Okay, so I've got two balls here. These are for the sleeves of the dress and also become part of the arms as well. I've got them either side so you can see for scale. These are going to be a bit too big, but I'll show you how to reduce the size of the arms in just a minute. So for the two balls, press on one side, creating a cone shape. And then for the other one as well. I do them at the same time so I can see that they're the same width and style that I'm looking for. Okay, so I've popped them on just to see how long they're going to be, and they are a little too long. So what I'm going to do is just pop them to the side like this, keeping them still attached, and then just trim a little off. Alright, so the length I want them now, I'm just going to manipulate them underneath here and create a little dip, and this is where the hand is going to go. And the same on the other side. Okay, so I've got them in a place where I'm looking to have them, and they are the right length. So they're about 3/4 of the way down the body, and then I've just created a little press here just to give the impression of elbows. So before I pop them in place and keep them there, I'm just going to pop them to the side again and just use one of my other tools. This is a needle tool, and I'm just going to create some lines in the dress. I'm just going to use the flexible end of my dotting tool just to press down slightly for the shoulders, just like that. There we go. Okay. Right, so moving on to the hands and the feet now. I make these really simply, just little balls and then slightly ovaled. Okay, so they're in place now. I'm going to leave a little gap here for now, but ultimately I'm going to have them pressed together a bit more, which will mean that I'll need to bring the angle of the arm out a little bit just to give that impression. But she is going to be holding a little heart like that, so I'm going to be bringing the arms up perhaps a little bit like that. So I'm just going to do the feet now. Okay, so I've got some yellow Fimo here. I have mixed this. This isn't straight out of the packet, so I've just got some yellow, some white and some gold. I've mixed it all together to give this sort of matte dulled effect for the hair. So I'm just going to roll this out and then cut out the hair and pop it onto the angel. Okay, so before I pop it onto the angel and cut out the strips of hair, I'm just going to make some lines in it. So I've added some lines across there now in different places, and this is going to give texture to the hair as I pop it on. So I'm just going to cut strips now. Okay, so she's got lots of lovely long locks, so I'm just going to twist them now and show you how to make the hair design. So I'm just going to trim the hair now. Okay, so I've given the angel a little bit of a haircut. It was too long here and I wouldn't have had room for her wings, so I've given her a little trim and now I'm going to work on her face. So for the eyes, I just pop a little couple of dots in here, not very deep, and then just cut some very small balls of black clay and just pop them inside. Okay, now for her nose. Now I'm not sure if I want to add a little smile or not, so I've just popped a little mark in this scrap piece of clay, and I've just done that with my nail, and I'm just going to see if that suits her or not. It looks a bit strange doing it like this, but I just want to see if giving her a little smile would work, and this is the way I do it. And in the same way I would do a pattern on a piece of scrap Fimo and then just glance over at it in different places to see if I wanted a design. This is a similar way of finding out whether you think it would look good or not. I'm actually going to leave her without a smile. Okay, so I've got myself a little scrap piece of the flesh colour that I've used for her face, and to check out the different blushes that I'd like to use, I'm just going to use this just to test it out. So first of all, I'm going to try this one. And what I'm doing here is just holding it up against her face to see what kind of shading I get as to which one I go for. Okay, I'm going to go for the deeper shading. There we are. Now she has nice rosy cheeks. Okay, so I'm going to make her heart now that she's going to hold. So I'm going to press ball. Now this is quite thick because I want the heart to be quite thick. Press down, give it a wiggle, and then to get it out, pop it with something blunt on the other side. I didn't like that heart, and the glitter on it I thought was pinky, but it's actually turned a bit orangey, and orange is not the colour I'm looking for. So I'm going to try that again. Okay, I've decided to use Fimo Effect in Glitter Red Rouge. This is number 202. Basically because I couldn't get the glitter to go right, so I'm going to use the actual red one. And this does have a little bit of glitter in it as well, because it's an Effect Fimo, so it's really nice. So nice and thick. I'm just going to press in the heart, pop it out, and then soften it up, and pop it in a little dip there, give it a bit more of a heart look. Okay, now I've got the heart. I am going to pop a little bit of glitter on, but not much. Okay, so this is a classic example of me getting overexcited glitter. It is now all over it, which I really like, so that's how it's going to stay. So I'm just going to pop that on now in between her hands, and hopefully won't get her covered in red clay and glitter. Okay, so a little bit of a close-up. She is holding the heart away from her, but with the hair I've got in place here, it's holding her arms up a little bit, so that's actually supporting her arms width. When I do pop her in the oven, I'm going to put some foil here, so that when she does harden in the oven, I'm calling her a she, like she's a real angel. She is, she's a real angel as far as I'm concerned. So when I pop her in the oven, she's going to have some foil here, so that just to hold them up while they're in the oven. Okay, so we're going to move on to a bit of stamping and some mica powders now, and also some glitter. Okay, so for the final part, I'm just going to be adding a little bit of mica powder around the hair, and then some very fine dusting of mica powder on the raised areas, like the flowers, and then finally glitter. Okay, so these are for the wings. I was getting so carried away with the glitter and the mica powder, I almost forgot the wings. So I've just cut the heart in half, unfortunately, and I'm just going to make some decorations on this and pop some mica powders on. Right, so I almost forgot the wings, so I'm glad I remembered. I'd have looked silly otherwise, creating an angel without wings. So they're on now, and I've just popped some of those little flowers that I created off camera to match the dress. So I'm just going to pop some glitter on now. Okay, so here's a bit of a close-up of the angel. So I've just done the glitter on the outside, and as you saw from how I done it, I pressed the glitter on the edging rather than sprinkling it all over, and I think that gave it a better look than having it full of glitter. What I'm going to do now is just add the little eye to pop in the top, and this is how you hang it. So I'm just going to do that now. And there we go. Now the little eyelet does two things. You can hang it up from it, and it also looks like a halo, so I thought that's quite a nice look. You can cook it in the oven with this in, and then when it's cooked you can unscrew it out, pop some glue in and then screw it back in, and it works absolutely great. Okay, so Angel is now ready for the oven. Okay, here she is out of the oven. Now when I cooked the angel in the oven, I popped a little eyelet in, and I screwed it in the top while the clay was still soft. But what I'm going to do now is pop a little glue in on the top and very quickly screw the eyelet in the top there, and that will hold it in place, and that also doubles up as her halo as well. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some ribbon . And there we are. There is one very pretty, very glittery angel. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I had so much fun making it, almost forgot to make its wings. But oh well, the glitter was great, and here is the final design. So there she is in her full glory with a little halo. This is the halo, the part that you can hang it from, so works perfectly. And she's got quite a sweet look to her as well. And the makeup worked really well, so even though I did put quite a bit on, as you can see, it's not really too heavy. And the little sparkly heart looks absolutely fantastic. So there you have it. That is how you make an angel. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. And don't forget to subscribe. Then take 75. Now I have made angels before. So I used to make them like this, and that's back to front. Crap! Oh, what am I doing? And now I've got the giggles. I don't giggle pretty, I giggle ugly. Hi and welcome back to the Polymer Clay channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do. What am I going to show you how to do? Oh, I don't know. What are we here for? Remind me what we're here for. Oh, what did you put in that fish finger sandwich? I can't stop, I'm almost crying.